So while they're going to saw Chrissy's nipples off is the
Yeah.
threat being
Jesus.
given.
Yeah,
And
right
the
in front
saw
of
comes,
Warren. Yeah, I
yes.
love how Wikipedia just glosses it over. It's like, oh, they plan to kill her in front of Warren, and I'm just like, no, no, no. They were gonna saw off her nipples.
I don't think they mentioned anything about killing. I think they were just intending to do some brutal body torture. Like,
Yeah. Um, but Warren doesn't save the day. The monster saves the day because hey, that's his mommy.
and I remember like, oh my God, I never made that connection. I'm serious. I never made that connection. Of course the monster saves the day. That's his mom.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's his mom and dad.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, wow. I feel dumb. I never put those pieces together.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I
That's
learned
okay.
something.
Yeah, but you know what though? They it does try to kill them eventually though, right? Because they zap it with the laser. Yes,
Was it ever trying to kill them, or did it just want a hug?
that's true. Maybe this is a tragedy. Maybe this movie's a tragedy.
Because the creature then ends up, like, massacring the Cretans who are trying to kill its parents, and, like, it never actually harms them in any way. It's just
Oh,
constantly trying to get to them. And, like, maybe
shit,
it's just
man.
like, Mom and
There's
Dad, I
this
want a hug.
whole sad subplot to this movie that like I don't think anybody is caught on
Did we
to.
discover this?
Did we discover it? Like this is actually like a Frankenstein kind of thing?
In the language of the film and, like, what we know, that actually does all kind of, like, fit together.
Yeah.
Like, Lloyd Kaufman definitely does not mention anything like that during his commentary. So maybe he didn't even, like, intend it. But, like, now I'm kind of reading it of, like, it just wants his mom and dad.
Yeah. Oh, that's touching. Um,
And now here's
uh,
where we get, like, all the gore effect, pretty much all the gore effects in the movie are in this sequence of Warren and Chrissy fleeing from the Cretans with the monster trailing them and the monster running into Cretans one by one and uh,
yeah.
killing them all in pretty graphic ways. Now, what I find really interesting about this is I watched the short version. The 120-minute version is labeled as the unrated director's cut, and according to the commentary by Lloyd Kaufman, the DVD release, which is how I first saw this movie. I've really seen this movie first on that, like, old DVD release of it,
Yeah.
which was also promoted as unrated. All of the gore scenes were cut out by the MPAA in order for it to get an R rating, for it to get distribution in theaters. And now I wonder, did the VHS version, which is probably how a lot of people also saw this movie, did that have all the gore cut out of it? Because I think it might have.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I couldn't
Huh.
find any information on that online if the VHS restored the gore scenes. Because, like, even when VHS came out, like, restoring cut scenes or director's cut versions and stuff, that started becoming a thing in the VHS era. Like, it became, like, super standard in the DVD era, but there were still people doing it in the VHS era.
And
So,
I feel like especially Troma must have been.
because because they were so pissed off at the MPAA constantly.
Yeah.
And but apparently when this was released in theaters, which also I think could influence, like, the low Rotten Tomatoes rating, it had every scene of violence cut out of it. So in
Mm.
other words, like, you never saw what happened to any of the Cretans in the original release of this movie, which I could definitely see making the movie much less satisfying when it gets to its climax.
Right, because like yeah, like these villains have been like running amok the last, hour and 10 minutes, and it's like here
Like,
we are
one
supposed to
guy
watch them get our comeuppance and
But yeah, so like one guy would be on the motorcycle and you just see the monster swing and then it'd be cut to, like, a completely different thing. Another
yeah.
guy would be riding his motorcycle, the monster's arm comes out, knocks him off, and then that would be the end. Like, it'd be very anticlimactic and really cheap looking because you
Yeah.
would be aware that the things they spent the money on are actually missing.
Oh, that makes sense. Um so yeah, after it takes out all the Cretans, yeah, it tries to give its parents a hug, and its parents shoot it with a laser.